Happy Tuesday, everybody. It's a G Hood morning, as we should say. Yesterday, we announced Emblem at Launchpad coming to Robinhood. A lot of fun surprises along the way there. A lot of cool partnerships kind of lined up across the board. Everybody wants Emblem on Robinhood from all capacities, from migrations to Launchpad tokens to cross-chain NFT infrastructure. So other unique ideas that people have been bringing up, as we've already had hundreds of people building Robinhood apps that have been live for months now at this point. So I'm kind of interested to see how that all unfolds here over the next few months. But I did put a tweet out yesterday that I suspect by the end of next month, Emblem will be fully on Robinhood. Outside of that, migrations are heating up. Emblem token looking like it's ready to almost break out. It was kind of hanging there for a second. One of these days, it's gonna stop being stuck in this perpetual consolidation period for almost 5 months. I think our community's about ready to hang themselves if this thing doesn't take off at some point here soon. But nonetheless, we're still out here grinding every single day as the crypto markets rip. And man, it is tough to keep up with all the stuff that we're doing, as well as now the market is coming back. How are we feeling today, lads?
Bro, definitely FOMO on the timeline. You can feel it. I think I put out a tweet today. I saw Fat Fingered the first time in like 18 months. I was like, oh shit, we really are back. I haven't heard that term in a long time, right? And you could just feel it on the timeline. Us putting out the Robinhood announcement. I just, the number of DMs, hey, what's going on? Trying to speculate on what's going on. Certainly attention is on Robinhood more than anywhere else. So lots of good stuff happening on the timeline. People are psyched that we're back. Like it's back, man. You can feel it.
Although I do remember Adam saying about a month ago that we were going lower. So
come on, bro.
Someone's put him in his place now.
Yeah, I mean, if you are building in the bear, it goes unnoticed, and then you just reap all the benefits in the bull. Like no one's gonna care one way or the other. To get to where we are, it's just taken like months and months and months of chaotic, crazy work, and then you're kind of going to the market where you get rewarded for literally anything. So cool to see. I mean, we have Emblem Scan up and running. We have Emblem Vault back up and running. We've got the new build terminal up and running. We've got migrations coming back super strong. We've got a few other things coming out pretty soon. I don't know, man. It's probably a good time to be an Emblem holder. Let's pull up that Emblem. Let's pull up the holder scan tweet as well. That was a good one.
Well, the Emblem scan is sick. It's really, I was in there last night. Like, damn, this thing is awesome, man.
Yeah, I'll pin the holder scan tweet.
131 wraps in the last 24 hours, or at least that's the high point of where it was. And people are wrapping. Robinhood, Solana, Rare Pepe volumes picking up. Look, we even got some people transferring around fake rares. That's the first time I've seen that in a while. People are starting to get interested again in NFTs. FWA definitely doing an incredible job on bringing all of that back. And I've got a bunch of surprises on things that we're working on. As I found this tweet. I found this tweet. I was thinking about it the other day. This was from 18 months ago. 18 months ago. We all hung out at ETH Denver, and we said that we were coming up with a cross-chain application idea for NFTs, as we expected NFT application era to come in, and I think we started resuming building it again. It was like kind of halfway done at that point, but now is the time. NFT application era, which is what we talked about literally a year and a half ago. Knew it was coming, just didn't know when. Did not know when that was actually coming.
I mean, we are honestly cracked. We're fucking so directionally right. There's no doubt. Obviously, kind of too early in certain things, like agent wallets. I think we're probably years too early, maybe, in that direction. But we've hit this shit, man. I mean, I saw, and I think I posted yesterday in our private chat the the Virtuals team basically doing a revitalized kind of build application on Solana. and trying to get builders to build out apps and stuff. It's like, bring it, bro. I was so psyched to see that because again, kind of
Reinforces.
reinforces, thank you, that we are just completely in the right direction. And this is like, we're in the right direction and like perfectly positioned. Like nobody's in the position we're in like the leader position now. And that feels fucking awesome. Chris and I were just talking before the show. It's like, we know it's right here, man. It's just which one of the 20 things we're going to launch in the next 6 months is going to be $1 billion product. And I have no doubt we're going to hit that in the next 6 months.
No doubt in my mind. Chris, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, we are. I mean, it's funny because, I say in our team meetings, I'm the internal cheerleader. Every week, this is the best week we've ever been, guys.
It's like, this is like vibing it. Now, I mean, we knew when Migrate Fun like first kind of hit, like it was like, oh man, shit, 20 people DM'd us today. And this is like that same sort of vibe right now.
But it's like, you're a startup and it is important to just be better every week. And if I'm not just like a total, blind optimist, it's that we genuinely are better and closer every single week. That like we spend all day, every day building this every single day. We're a small team, but we punch way, way, way above our weight, but we're not going to be a small team forever. I would say we're like the biggest small company that I've ever seen. We have like legs on every single blockchain. Anywhere you go, you see Emblem Vault, you see holders across all these different categories within crypto itself, whether it's migrations or NFTs, or you're going to see some gamification stuff soon. And I don't know, it's just it like, I tweet all the time that Emblem is inevitable, and it's kind of like tongue in cheek, but it's also just like it's literally inevitable because we're not going to ever stop until it's actually inevitable. And there's no stopping this train, as like they like to say in the chat. So this train does not stop.
Yep, we're trains on multiple fronts. Let's start with our announcement, I guess, yesterday. It's probably why a bunch of people are watching this. So yesterday we announced that Emblem is coming to Robinhood, but not anything of Emblem Launchpad. So currently Emblem Vault, right, which is an AI terminal among a bunch of things. So if you've never been on the site, if you go to emblemvault.ai, you'll see there's a trading terminal with AI, right? So you could stake the Emblem token for migration rewards. There's a launch platform. You can even see Robinhood is on there. And then the build terminal, which is the AI crypto vibe coding platform. We launched Emblem Build in June, and over the last 2.5 months now, right? June, July, August, almost 3 months. We've had over almost 250 unique users building hundreds of apps. A lot of them actually were on Robinhood. Robinhood is a new chain that is, I would say, quite immature in the application era. There's not much infrastructure there. I mean, there's some cool projects that are being built, like on-chain hoodies and stockbrokers and a bunch of experimentation with RWAs and such. But with this and this new excitement, we wanted to be able to allow anybody to build their own Robinhood business on Robinhood using the Emblem infrastructure. So we're going to be expanding our launchpad currently on Solana using Meteora to also offer Robinhood tokens. So you'll be able to launch tokens on Robinhood, build apps, and essentially build a business in a single prompt. We do have a partner on this, and we have been talking with a bunch of people over the last few months about, coming to our launchpad, whether it's through a fresh launch, whether it's through a migration, whether it's through a handful of other means of onboarding to the ecosystem. But it has been something that people have been asking for months now at this point. And we finally got everything lined up, and it's going to be full speed ahead here over September, and here pretty shortly. There's maybe some Easter eggs and things out there for people to kind of play around with and speculate on. As people know, in our community, we always leave kind of breadcrumbs everywhere we go. Easter eggs, that's what kind of keeps things interesting and entertaining, to say the least. At least, Chris and I have been in the industry for 10 years, and it was kind of like that in like the early days when people would like do on-chain puzzles and embed private keys and stuff in Reddit posts. So, kind of some of that cypherpunk ethos is what we try to maintain to do, while keeping everything interesting and experimenting. So pay attention to that. You'll probably want to turn the notifications on for the Emblem Vault account, as well as just join the community for when that's live. Lots and lots of opportunities here over in the Robinhood ecosystem, and also on Solana and ETH and Bitcoin. Those are kind of the 4 main chains we work on. Emblem started on Bitcoin in 2016, moved over to Ethereum in 2021 or 2020, had an immense amount of success with ETH NFTs, which is also now being revitalized again with FWA, with our FWA Fake World Assets partnerships and Robinhood and a few other chains, bringing ETH NFTs to ETH. Soon we'll be able to bring all NFTs to Robinhood. And then on Solana, we launched Emblem Vault AI Terminal and Migrate Fund. Migrate Fund has been probably the best, the most winning product since I've been on the team in the last 4 years. And Robinhood now presents a lot of other opportunities for us to expand it. And so those would be like the 4 domains, although we do support BNB on all of our products as well. Robinhood is, to me, at least it seems like it's kind of going to be the Solana of the cycle. I don't think it's going to be directly competitive to Solana. I kind of see Robinhood and Solana as 2 different means, but the interest there reminds me of Solana in like 2020, what was it, 2023, 2022, something like that.
Yep. I think the speculation around Robinhood is fantastic. I think it's got a little bit of like BNB vibes in that, like, I think Vlad is kind of like this character in the way CZ is, just like a larger than life person who can move markets. And so, and I don't, obviously he's not going to be as much involved as CZ is in kind of, pushing markets, but he can, right? And it's held out there with people as like a speculative tool. Like, oh man, are we going to get listed? Are we going to get a shout out from him? Are we going to get a retweet? That sort of thing brings tremendous amount of speculation onto the chain. And I think he's smart enough above and beyond Brian. He is smart enough to actually leverage that and realize that. So I think, definitely Robinhood is the chain this cycle where the action's going to take place. I think it's already decided. Unless they fumbled it. And I don't think he's going to fumble it. I think this is happening, so very excited to start doing stuff on Robinhood. Fucking every asset everywhere, man. It's like the vision is coming real now. And if it's happening on Robinhood and we need to bring fucking whatever, Bitcoin NFTs over there, let's roll, man. Or just whatever, move meme coins over there from Pump or from wherever, from Base, because Base is tired. Like, let's go. This is happening. And we've already seen it with Migrate Fund. The number of teams reaching out to migrate to Robinhood. I think once the first one goes through the door, man, it's just going to be a flood. So it's going to be very exciting next couple months.
I think that's the takeaway, right? Is that any asset, any chain, and we were a Bitcoin company. Ethereum started to really get traction, had a better user experience. We brought infrastructure over to Ethereum. Solana came about, had a better user experience. We brought a ton of infrastructure over to Solana. Robinhood has a ton of users, a ton of traction. We're building infrastructure over to Robinhood. Whether it was Robinhood this cycle or another chain this cycle or another chain next cycle, we're still going to be there. And that's the takeaway, is that we build infrastructure for immature ecosystems and we can grow alongside them. Now we're going to be able to have a huge imprint on Robinhood, way bigger than we were able to have on Ethereum, because it was already a bit more mature by the time we got there, way more than we were able to have on Solana. Like, we're there from the earliest days. You're going to continue to see Emblem everywhere. And like, the thesis just gets proven out more and more in real time. So I do agree that obviously Robinhood has a ton of traction, but even if it didn't, it's going to be someone else. And there's still going to be another one.
Totally.
Back in the day, there was Bitcoin Maximalist. Oh, it's only going to be Bitcoin. And then there was Ethereum Maximalist. Oh, it's only going to be Ethereum. And their thesis gets proven wrong. And our thesis continues to get proven right, that it's going to be another chain, another chain. There's going to be a Citadel chain. There's going to be a BlackRock chain. There's going to be whatever, a Google chain. And no matter what they try and make the chain for, there's always going to be multi-dimensional reasons to use the chain, multi-dimensional reasons for us to be there, to build communities there. And this is the very early days of the on-chain economy. And you're going to see more blockchains come about, and you're going to want to see a lot of assets trade between other blockchains to other blockchains. And FWA is proving that in real time, that people are bringing assets to that protocol to farm it and to play the game. But today it's FWA. Tomorrow it's another application that requires the same deal, that want to be farmed cross-chain and things of that nature. So closer and closer every day. And the thesis is like extremely clear. I mean, you can't miss it. If you open your eyes, you can like literally, you can't miss it. Just open your eyes.
And I think honestly, what we're so early on, and just people aren't, some people are realizing it and starting to build little things, little tiny builds. But bro, all you got to do is look back through the last, just look in the last 18 months, things that kind of worked, but then fizzled out or were done a little bit wrong. Bro, you can recreate that shit in literally like 3 days using Emblem Build. My brain was just going to that. I don't know if you guys remember, it's like a year ago. Somebody would build like a fantasy football game. I think it was on Solana. And just fucking shitty images. It was all wrong. Bro, they pulled in like $2 million in like 24 hours. Do you remember that fucking thing? I even bought some because it was like,
I think it was called like football.fun.
Yeah, football.fun or whatever. And it was bad. And they, rightly so, they were like, fuck, we're not gonna be able to do this. Like they couldn't build it out. They couldn't build the tech, and they refunded everybody's money. All cool. But dude, you could build, I know I could build that in a week. I could build it in a week. Right. And that's wide open lane. Where are my fantasy football people out here building, crypto rails for fantasy football, bro? It's wide open. You could totally.
That's $1 billion idea.
Like
that alone.
You could go make $5 million for yourself in this coming football season, and it's like, I don't know, man. It's incredible times for anybody who's paying attention and has a little bit of the balls to build something out. It's amazing times, man.
I saw on the timeline yesterday, some people were speculating on Coinbase versus Robinhood wars. And then as somebody came in on the top of that and they're like, well, CZ also has something else to say. And then people are like, oh, what about Kraken? And now people are trying to farm Kraken, right? The Ink chain. And it plays into what we've been talking about, where the reason why interoperability is so important is because it moves the competition out from the intro blockchain layer, where it's Pump Fund versus Meteor versus Robinhood, and now it's CZ versus Brian Armstrong versus Vlad, right? Those people have an immense amount of capital behind their empires that they've built, and whether it's migrations or NFTs, right? Whether it's Emblem or Migrate Fund, at some point, one of these people are going to realize that, oh, I can incentivize the largest projects in the industry to come over to my chain if I just talk to this team and say, hey, we want to work together, and I'm going to offer these XYZ incentives, whether it's like directly paying people to come over or some sort of discount or social, validation. One of them is going to figure it out, right? You'd think it's probably going to be Vlad because he's been kind of on the ball. Coinbase seems to miss everything right under their nose. Maybe it changes now with Kobe being there. CZ, I don't know. CZ's kind of way detached. He's just like a poster boy at this point. But someone's going to realize it, and then it's going to be game on at that point in time. So hopefully we'll make a lot of noise with the migrations, or maybe Launchpad. Maybe people we end up having one or two runners or some big projects that come in and launch and have a breakaway, right? We've seen the playbook already from Banker do this, as well as Pump Fund, who wrote the entire playbook themselves, who's literally just running away with the whole thing right now. Like at this point, we talked about Pump versus FOMO. I already feel like Pump's already won at this point.
Do you see everybody on the time? I've joined Pump. I feel like it's LeBron. I'm taking my talents to fucking Miami, bro. I'm like seeing fucking, I don't know, Farouk and all these people. Like, I'm taking my talents to fucking Pump, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, Pump is just like, look, let's just spend $2 million and go get.
They said they were paying out of their own treasury yesterday for like these call out rewards.
Yeah, so good, dude. I mean, I got to give Elon credit, man. Just like, let's just go buy the fucking timeline, and they did.
Oh, that's why you build a war treasury, right? Wartime. When it comes to wartime, you better spend it. I mean, we see this in the CapEx spending of the top companies in the world all fighting over AI. I mean, there was a point where Apple had I think think it was like $200 billion in their cash pile. Granted, they didn't really spend much of it now, but
Yeah, they still do.
Google, they still do. Google and all these companies are negative capex for the first time in like a decade or two.
Yeah, the best position they ever did was just do nothing. Apple, all they had to do was do nothing, and they actually did it. Against think of when the AI wars were at their peak, and everyone was like, "What is Apple doing?" I was kind of on Apple's side. I got to be honest. I was like,
you were early to the Apple.
I took Apple's side, and I said, "That's probably the best route. Save your money, find the winner to surface, and then make your play." And that's actually what they did. So
Smart.
I think that's a victory lap, I guess.
And who's the winner? Anthropic?
I mean, I just don't. I think the models actually plateau at some point, right? Like, and it just comes down to more of a user experience. I think there's like more specialized model. I don't know if I don't think I've made the comparison before to blockchains where you don't really you have to specialize. You can't just be a general purpose blockchain anymore because that role is already taken. And so I think just better tooling for individual users across a bunch of different categories is how you win. I think like, just like intelligence, you can only have so much intelligence, your IQ can only be, 220. Like there's no 380 or 400 unless like you're an alien species or something like that. But even then it all plateaus, right? Because they all have, the same amount of compute that they have to work with. So there's a limit to how much intelligence you can actually have. And the longer it takes for us to bring on more compute, then the more competitive the model layers are, the more that they're able to catch up with one another in terms of performance. So I think it's more about user experience at the end of the day.
It's really interesting, that whole discussion. And I heard it, I think it was Elon said, what does it matter if Adam's 110 IQ and Chris is a 120 when the AI each of them is using is 4,000, right? So, we're at 4,110 for me, and 4,120 for Chris. It's like, there's no difference then, right? But right now, we're early enough where the world is not using these advanced models. So I think we all see that. And we're like going 10x hard because we realize this is like, there's a window here. I think that's, the general vibe is there's a window, and you gotta make hay as quickly as fucking possible.
Yes, we do. So exciting times, more launch pads, more tokens, more wars. It's just better for the interoperability protocols, right? At the end of the day,
pull up that holder scan that's in the nest. Pull that's beautiful. Pull that up. It's in the nest.
Yeah. Well, I can't pull it up here.
Talk about the token. Let's talk about the token.
Let's talk about it. Yeah. Was it? So go on. It was like something about our holder.
It's in the nest. It's in the nest.
Yeah. I'm on the computer that I can't pull it from the nest.
Oh, really? I don't know how that works. You manage the computer, so it's actually inside of the computer.
Bro, where's your AI pulling it up, man? Come on, man.
I'll pull it up. It's
snap your agent. Say, get this on my screen now, Jarvis. But anyways, it's a conviction score. Scores your community based on what percentage of holders are holding what amount, and Emblem basically tops the charts against some of the biggest and best tokens in the industry, which is really incredible. See, it really just goes to show that we're a strong community, a small community of strong holders that really kind of know what they hold. We don't have a super wide net because we've been building infrastructure for the last 5 years, heads down, but we're getting more into our application layer. We'll get more into our marketing layer as well when the market turns. But anyone that holds Emblem or is like in the vicinity of Emblem is always like, dude, we're always kind of like the people are like, you guys are going to be the biggest company. That's kind of like the general consensus. A lot of people are building like a few features or some nice niche businesses, but nobody really has the expansion, the expanded surface area across, that actually has the capabilities to become like a pillar, multi-billion-dollar business like Emblem Vault has. And you can see it within the holders. Look at this against SPX, against Neat, against Useless, Troll, Mog, Giga, even Ansem. Like even the Ansem coin is on there. And like, look, 76% of holders have over $10. 17% have over 1K. I mean, this is some of the highest conviction score in the whole industry. And so it's just, and without being, obviously, like you see like Mog coin at like 95%, that just means like 5 people hold all of the supply, right? Exactly. So as far as like, actual distributed holding power that's not manipulated by us or anything like that, like this is just raw stats. We don't have any insights to, that we didn't influence Holder Scan to put us at the top of the list. It was surprising for us to see internally as well. But it's good to see because that's how the community feels, at least from my perspective. It feels, it's not a giant community, but everyone is like, damn, I got to get more emblem. Anyone in the community is like, I got to hold my emblem. So, and many of them been holding it for 7 years, 8 years.
And near
Yeah.
perfect meme conviction score, by the way, 69.5.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's got to, like, it's written. It's written.
Yeah, really, the only thing the coin is missing is just a consistent flipper base, right? To keep the volume consistent. That's usually what meme coins have, but the meme coin people are usually missing, right? The long-term holders. Like they definitely have convicted people, but our conviction score, I think, is like based off of the majority of the holders, not just like a few. So shout out to the emblem holders for absolutely crushing it. A lot of things in store. Again, it'd be the one downside of being a multi-chain community is like you have conviction across the board, but wherever the token is kind of domiciled, right? And also bridging a token to another chain doesn't really change that, right? So it's like I'm interested to see like the amount of success that we have on Robinhood if that actually has an impact of the token being on Solana.
In my head, it's just like it's a reflexive attribute where everyone sees it, but they don't care about it until they have to, and when the smoking gun goes off, then it's time to care about it. Then they have to, everyone in the, like, I have tokens where I'm like, oh, I'm going to keep a mental watch list on that, but I don't actually make the move until it's time to make, until I'm forced to make the move, whether it's like a sign of FOMO or an early sign of life or something like that. And then you have to figure out how to get your hands on emblem. And that's how I have tokens like that where I watch, and it just feels like that's how emblem is. It's like, whenever we're done with the boring infrastructure, then it's time to go. And I think it's almost time to go.
Tell me when to go, as they would say. Yesterday, TokenWorks took over Ethereum as they begin to save Ethereum. They dropped 111 PFPs that I think 3 are still spinning in the everything gotcha. The floor for these have ran up to, I think, 4 or 5 ETH at some point in time. A lot of there was 111 whitelist spots for 400 people. That was like their big depositors and pullers. I thought I was going to be able to. I deposited like 30 or 40 things, but I didn't make it to the list, unfortunately. So that's conviction, people. Yeah, right. Just I saw one post, somebody said that they had deposited 700 NFTs and almost all of them got pulled yesterday. So when they did this fair mint, right, the people had got to back it. Then people had to go start spinning for it. And at some point it was like 40 or 50% of the entire FWA inventory had been pulled off the market. So the odds for like the CryptoPunk had gone, or the odds of pulling the CryptoPunk had increased by like 15-fold because of all the inventory that had been pulled. So people started pulling it even more, right? Because let's say they had like 7,000 tokens in their inventory. People are trying to spin for these PFPs to get them. But meanwhile, they're pulling out all the floor assets. So now instead of having 7,000 assets, there's like 2,000, and most of the floors had been pulled. So then it just creates this flywheel, people trying to spin even more because they're like, oh, my odds to pull this 300 ETH CryptoPunk hoodie one. But I don't think anyone actually ended up pulling it, but you could see the reflexivity here to the point where I have on the screen the amount of fees that were burned here from this contract. You could see it had done yesterday. The USD value of spending was almost 3 times or 2 times its highest output so far. So its highest output day of fees earned was around almost 20 ETH. Yesterday they did 50 ETH in fees earned. So flywheel goes boom.
Wow. Congrats, Adam, man.
The question is, will the fair distribution product work well when it's not the TokenWorks team? Right. Obviously, people want to buy these because it's TokenWorks. People want to speculate, right? There's value, whatever. But their first one they're doing is like what's called the Save Ethereum drop. It's like some nonprofit thing. Obviously, they say that they've been trying to save Ethereum, so it's kind of building into their narrative, which makes sense. but will there be interest for the 5th or the 10th free distribution drop, a month or two
The answer is
from
no,
now?
Jake. I mean, the answer is obviously no, but there will always be this, can they convince X copy to do one? Can they convince any big artist to do one? Ones that can create, can they convince Bold to do his 10K PFP on here, right? There are always those things. It's a really, really cool drop mechanism that works for the FWA platform. It just it's very, very cool. Really cool design. And these guys, man, they've hit it twice. You got to give them credit, man. It's really, really
I mean,
cool.
he's learning. Second time founders are better than first time founders. Everyone knows that. Like first time founders focus on product. Second time founders focus on marketing. There's just like a genuine growth that happens after you build. I think it's a great product, and I don't think it's really about. I think the Flare drops are a great feature, but they're not the protocol. And actually, the core of the protocol is trying to win a 300 ETH CryptoPunk. So it's not really about onboarding collections. It's about onboarding really Grail assets and then you have the filler content that brings in some people, some niche people, some different communities. But people are pulling to win a couple of the Flare PFPs, but they're really pulling to win the CryptoPunk or the 10 CryptoPunks or whatever. So it's about onboarding high value assets that people want to win. They want to pay.
It's interesting though, because wouldn't you say at the beginning, it was really about the token, right? So it's almost like morphed. I would say at the beginning, it was about the FWA token and working to get that token because that token was ripping.
But also you almost had no chance of winning the CryptoPunk because
for sure.
at that point in time. So it's like you were playing to win the token, but also there's a 1 in 1,000,000% chance that you would win the CryptoPunk. Yeah. So in tandem, but at time,
it's got like multiple. It almost has multiple kind of cool mechanisms to it.
Yeah,
right?
But then you get 10 CryptoPunks in there. You're doing all right. Someone's gonna hit that. But but he has to think that through quickly, because if someone did win the CryptoPunk yesterday, well, no one's playing it today. You know what I mean? Like then your users are gone. So you have to make sure that it's like a Pokemon pull, right? You buy a case of 150 packs. Most they're all trash. You're looking for one card that's going to cover everything in there, right? So once again, the power law wins. You're going to get 80% of your value from 20% of the pulls. It's even strong. It's way more of a power law. It's like 95 and 5. 95 of it you're going to throw back into the pool. You're really fishing for the 5%.
We'll see how it goes. I know Adam said that they're working on their private pools, which I'm interested to see. I think these are things that people will build different type of mini apps for. I could definitely forecast seeing FWA being something kind of like a Mario Party, where there's just like a bunch of different mini games built on top of these private pools. I think he said that there's an ability to have private pools where you don't have to actually back anything with ETH. So it's just kind of like a random spin, almost like a slot machine. So I think that actually will provide a lot of interesting drop mechanics and application building for it. But we'll continue to monitor it as we always do. Yesterday, I saw that there was an interesting, announcement from BankerBot, who's now partnering with Aerodrome to try and take on natural language curation for liquidity providing. LPing has been a pain in the ass for everybody forever. You can make money if you figure it out. You don't know how it works because impermanent loss always screws you. Now with RWA based LP pools, right, where you're doing like NVIDIA/AI or whatever the pairs are, people are really diving in. So it looks like Banker and Aerodrome are trying to tackle this, where you talk to the Banker agent and they basically help you do your LP positions. Chris, you think this will lead to more people getting wrecked or people actually making money because the agent maybe can't calculate the impermanent loss, or maybe there's a mistake, or the automation doesn't trigger? Or do you think this leads to more people?
I think, yeah, I think it's less intimidating. So I think like, it's going to be a slow start, but I do think that this is the way forward, whether it happens this year or next year or whatever. I think like rebalancing is a simple, we can get Teslas to drive themselves across the city. I think if we can get automated auto balancing pools pretty easily, whether they're the ones to do it, I'm not sure, but like manual LPing is clearly like, it's like picking your own strawberries, like, I don't know, like it's just not going to happen in the future. You're going to have robots picking those strawberries. And like, just like that's a funny analogy because it's actually yield farming, right? Like that's actually the right analogy, I guess it would be. But yeah, it makes sense that they're going to figure it out. I don't know if they're going to figure it out. It's going to be figured out.
I tried doing LP. I tried LPing many times. Each time I gave up. It's just too much. You have to literally sit there and baby it over time. So I hope the automation here kind of triggers it. In other news, I saw this funny post yesterday. William Shatner blocking BankerBot. Super random. It's just like old guy yelling at clouds kind of thing. It said that it'd be somebody responded to William Shatner, said would be cool if we could pay for your book on the timeline using Banker. And then he puts no and shows that BankerBot has been blocked. So probably popped up one too many times on his timeline, or maybe people were like trying to send him tokens or something, and he was just old man Yeller here, just blocking it.
Bro,
call it a
just
day.
another sign that we're back, bro. When Shatner starts interacting with crypto again, we're back, bro. We're back. The timeline is back for sure. Love Shatner, dude. He's the best, man.
Yeah, and then he goes on and says, I get payment first and I don't see anything. Put your money where your mouth is. So people are memeing with him. This is like early entrance into a celebrity coin cycle. You could just kind of feel it coming on.
Well, somebody there, what was going on there was somebody was like, hey, can I buy, if I buy a bunch of your books, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, put your money where your mouth is. And M. Lee jumps in there and is like, well, can I buy, if I buy 100 of your books, will you tweet out that Grok has money? And he was like, that's when he was like, yes, I'll do it. Sure, whatever. So M. Lee, I'm expecting an order from M. Lee today. M. Lee's already said, hey, man, I'll send you a book. You want a book? So I think he's going to be a big buyer of Shatner's books today, at some point on the timeline. So that'll happen. Yeah, big shout out to M. Lee.
Yeah, see, that guy's going on a generational run. I saw he was on. I watched his interview with the Block Runner guys, who the Nat guys. These guys are still kicking somehow. Doing that just in absolute nerd world, hanging out with non-arbitrary tokens, still trying to kick the wagon there. But he was on the interview, and it just reminded me of when we went out with him in Miami. That was a fun time. It was a good time. Good dude. Yeah.
He's been crushing, man. I mean,
he was trying to explain lien fight to me, and I was just like, I just don't understand tax liens. I try to figure it out, but I just could not figure it out.
Bro, tax liens are like the best liens on earth. I mean, that I get. That portion I get. Like, it's like guaranteed money, right? It's like the tippy top tax lien is like the number one first in line debtor, right? So that I get. It's like a super secure lien. How he's connecting it to and making, tokenizing it, I have no fucking idea. But he's a smart dude. And yeah, I give it a great chance of success. And he's like, I think his token's really ripped, as people are like, oh, wait, Emily's really following through with this. He's really like doing it. And I think he's really doing it. And so, I give him a good chance. And obviously he's connected with all those base guys. So yeah, he's a good one, dude.
It seems like it's an inevitability that in the lifespan of a VC, eventually the ones who are somewhat competent end up turning into builders and end up having a lot of success.
Yep.
And he's one of those in the space. So shout out to Emily, who is crushing it over there on Base. Base also listed Basecat. They listed DRB. And a few other ones. I don't know if Kobe was trolling, but it sounded like I saw that he unfollowed Jesse on the Base account, and he was just like, "It's just business, bro." made it think like they were gonna fire him or something. Probably should, honestly. But
it was fun.
Yeah,
I like
awesome.
He just Kobe knows how to work the internet. I think he's just he's one of the great posters of all time. He's the guy for the job. So.
Yeah, it's damn. Look at the Pons is almost at 100 million. Damn, they're absolutely on fire over there on the Robinhood ecosystem. What else? Dog is pumping. I see Leonidas has been going crazy on Dog. The funny part is they're buying Dog on Solana. They're not buying the Runes Dog.
Yeah,
And he's
Dog
even
on Solana went to like 300 million or something. I don't know. Chris maybe knows what happened. Yeah, sure, a little squeeze.
so he fat finger it because there's just not a lot of liquidity.
Exactly. Yep.
But it's just funny. Leo goes back and forth on this shit. I hate exchanges. Let's do cross chain, whatever it is. Ultimately, it's just buy it on Solana. It's like ultimately, I think he was supporting it beforehand, but I guess that guy's also part of the what's it called, the Cat Cafe or something like that. That him and Tio work at.
Corgi.
Oh, Corgi.
Corgi.
It's the opposite. It's not a cat, it's a dog. Yeah.
Corgi Cafe. Yeah. Whatever that is.
Yeah, I don't think Leo's working at Corgi Cafe yet.
Leo works there.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
How did
Yeah.
I miss that on the timeline? No,
That was like a
fucking
few weeks
way,
ago.
dude.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No way. How did I miss that on the
Ecosystem is down bad.
timeline? Yo, that is crazy.
Both of them shuttered the business and joined the Corgi Cafe.
That's crazy. I gotta check that out, man.
Yeah, it looks like Leo's doing something crypto related. I guess Corgi has like some sort of did he leave it already? He had it on there on his bio. Maybe he left already. He was doing like the Corgi ETFs or something like that.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Doing like the retail trading onboarding. Retail
Yeah.
trading, what I think it was. But I do remember seeing that like his badge got removed. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but
Wait, he had a Corgi back? He had a Corgi
Yeah.
badge? How the fuck this timeline, bro? How the fuck did I miss that? That's crazy town. That's wild, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
Tio, we're obviously big fans of both these guys, but no, I did not see
yeah,
that.
great pickups. I mean, great guys.
I can't find it, but yeah, it was something about like they want to do ETFs and they hired Leo to kind of lead the charge. So some sort of digital, I don't know, digital arm within the Corgi Cafe.
Here we go.
My understanding is,
Yeah.
what'd you say?
I just found. I'll put it in the.
In the chat.
Yeah.
So I could pull it up. Yeah, shout out to them. Yeah, you want the best success for them. We've been good friends with Leo for a very long time. Yeah, here it is. Corgi Cafe. But Dog has been going crazy and Runes are maybe coming back a little bit. Corgi Invest. That's what it was. Corgi Invest. There's like a post that the investing had about them hiring Leo at some point in time. Maybe he doesn't work there anymore. I don't know. Maybe they're like, your dog posting is way too much. But yeah,
retail brand at Corgi Invest.
yeah. So shout out. Oh, here it is. Yeah, this is the post. Yeah, head of retail brand. Shout out to Leo. The question is, does Dog go to a bajillion dollars? Meme coins are back. I saw Ansem. I was reposting him the other day. He was talking about MemeFi, which is something we've been talking about for like years at this point.
Yep.
Which was like the next. I honestly just think like the general theme of this cycle is just the application cycle. Meme coins are getting apps, NFTs are getting apps, and chains are getting apps, right? Like Robinhood and some of these other ones to build it faster. And then you have to kind of funnel it down to what are the winning apps? What are the winning kind of meme coin apps? There's more launch pads than users at this point, and we're definitely joining that battle. But we're trying to help facilitate and expedite the application era as well by building our own. Ultimately, right, it's like, I think like layer 2 blockchains gotten a similar issue with this, where you try to incubate apps by doing hackathons and paying people with grants and stuff like that. But ultimately, it's just like, you just have to build it yourself. It's ultimately, it's very rare where you get a winning app in the ecosystem that just happens naturally. You had it with Polygon that got Polymarket. And I guess Solana you got with Pump Fund. And ETH, I guess you've gotten a few different times with different narratives overall, right? Aave, Uniswap, DeFi Summer, NFTs, etc. But at this point in time, like with Mega ETH, for example, they tried to do this whole incentive campaign of trying to foster building for, we want these DeFi apps and we want these kind of apps. Ultimately, I was reading their strategy the other day and they're basically taking everything back. And they're just like, we're just going to build the apps that we want in the ecosystem because we have so much money at this point in time. That just seems to be the case now. It's just, you just got to do it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, if you even just look at Robinhood, the reason why we're doing things on Robinhood is because there's attention on Robinhood, right? It's just this is where the users are, it's where the money is. That's just human nature. Humans just do that, and so darn near impossible to do it. We've seen God how many layer ones and layer twos try to do this to pay for build out of apps, and it's basically a losing battle. They just can't do it, and yeah. We'll see. I mean, I think, Stacks is one we've talked about a lot, trying to lean into something, whether they'll ever be able to build out a winning app. What are the odds? I don't know. But you throw, I don't know, $200 million at something, you might eventually hit, maybe. But it's hard as fuck, man. So I think playing the numbers game, have lots of people do lots of apps is a great strategy. Obviously, we build apps. If you look at Migrate Fund, is that an app? I guess, yeah, it's an app. And so, winning apps are super hard, but man, it's never been a better time to build them. And, bro, we got to do it because I'm not fucking working at Corgi Cafe. Fucking now. I'm not fucking working at Corgi Cafe. Fuck it.
That's just like the fallback. Yeah, Emblem's had two multi-million-dollar apps, Migrate Fund and Emblem Vault, the wrapping service. On to our third now, which is the Emblem Terminal, which is more like a platform than it is an app now at this point. But yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm excited for it. I don't have any other topics. I don't know if you guys have any other things you want to bring up. If not, we can wrap it up here.
Imagine how difficult it was to use Emblem Vault in 2021. So difficult that I did not recommend it to anybody. Because it was like the way to lose your fucking assets, right? It was like so many fake accounts, fake this and that. To now, it's fucking like the easiest thing on earth. Migrate Fund was like a step up from that as far as ease and use goes. And like the terminal and build is like easy as fucking pie, right? It's like way better than Claude, right? It's way better for building apps. And it's incredible, the rate of change and how much better our products have gotten. Like, it's incredible how good our products are now. And
I built an app that's generated 10K in revenue in less than a week. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Literally.
It's crazy.
Emblem Scan's gotten literally almost 10,000 unique viewers.
Bro,
or
Emblem
like
Scan
that.
is
It's crazy.
Ass,
it's crazy.
Dude.
Both of those took me less than a week to build. Literally, Emblem Wrap took like a week. Emblem Scan took 3 days to build. It's crazy how fast you could do this stuff now.
I was going to say on our intro call, like, Jake is the unsung hero. He actually had like one of the biggest breakthroughs in the whole company, which was really obfuscating the vaulting layer into like a single click process. Before you had to deposit assets, create a vault, deposit the asset in the vault, mint the vault. It was 3 steps. It was very tedious, very annoying. No one wants to do that, especially with high value assets. You don't want to, there's too much room for error. And Jake completely obfuscated the whole thing away using Emblem Build in 1 week. Built probably the best like upgrade to the whole company that we've been trying to do. This would have been impossible.
Even literally trying to do that.
Shannon,
the day we started at Emblem Vault.
Shannon pioneered the vault. Shannon literally pioneered the vault in crypto. He created the vault layer in crypto, and it was so hard to obfuscate that to get it to 1 clicks, right? And Jake was able to do it with Emblem Build. And so like now what we're able to do is bring that to all of our other products, which actually genuinely feels like magic. And obviously people are finally catching on that, oh shit, the vaulting layer just got so much easier. Now we're doing 100 plus vaults in the very, deep end of the bear or very beginning of the bull market when there's 150 users on chain rather than hundreds of thousands, right? And so you can only forecast what it'll look like when you're in peak bull. And then you have Emblem Scan where you're able to see everything that's going on in the ecosystem at all times. One of my favorite products that I've ever seen. I literally just am amazed at, how far reaching Emblem Vault is. But I think the biggest takeaway is that our products are going to continue to get better and we're going to get more products. Like the Emblem Vault of today is not the Emblem Vault of 6 months ago. And the Emblem Vault of 6 months ago is not the Emblem Vault of 2 years ago. And the Emblem Vault of today is not going to be the Emblem Vault 6 months from now or 2 years from now. So the products are going to get better. There's going to be way more products. And just like we said at the beginning of the conversation, Emblem's inevitable because we continue to work on it every day. There's no stopping it. You're not going to be able to stop Emblem. So we're going to continue to be everywhere. We're going to continue to win. And our wins are only going to compound against each other. Emblem Scan showcases everything that's going on. Emblem Wrapped is the base layer of all of our products going forward. That it gets easier and easier. Our products compound they're so reflexive against one another. It's just obvious what happens next. If anyone has eyes, you can see what's about to happen.
When
Thanks.
Pepe season,
Right?
when Frog season. Excited. I'm excited to say the least. We're gonna have a bunch of fun stuff come in this week and over the next month or so. So really pay attention. Make sure you're following the Emblem account and the Migrate Fun account. And I guess everyone else who's on stage here today. I believe we're gonna have a guest, first guest that we've had in a while on Thursday. So we'll post some announcements there. Until then, everyone, please have a fun and safe Tuesday. If you're a Robinhood builder, get on Build, create some apps, and get prepared to literally build a Robinhood business with Emblem as your support system and a few other surprises to come until then. Everyone stay safe and we'll see you soon.